Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. The good news is we have received some new guidance from the IRS as it pertains to the federal tax waiver on the first $10,200 in unemployment benefits received in 2020. So, folks, this is brand new information that has just come in from the IRS. The IRS has said that they will now automatically process refunds for those individuals who may have paid federal income taxes on their unemployment benefits. In other words, those who already filed their taxes. So this is extremely encouraging. You'll see this article on your screen from Bloomberg. And by the way, I'll provide you with a link to all of these articles. This one is, in fact, there was another CNBC article as well, which I can show you right now. I'll provide you with a link to all of these articles in the description section below. But folks, the good news is that the IRS is essentially going to issue these refund payments, if you will, of tax overpayments automatically. So this is a good thing because initially there was some talk about potentially having to file amended returns, but the IRS is saying, hey, you don't need to do that anymore. So the new law, as you know, makes the first $10,000 of unemployment benefit payments tax-free. Now, traditionally, unemployment payments have been taxed as income, but the first $10,200 of unemployment payments in the year 2020 for households making less than $150,000 a year are going to be tax-free per recipient. In other words, if there are two recipients, then we're talking $10,200 times two, which is essentially $20,400, which is pretty incredible. So some taxpayers unfortunately have already paid taxes on jobless benefits. So the update is that the Internal Revenue Service will automatically process refunds for those individuals who paid taxes on their unemployment benefits before Congress passed a law making those payments tax-free. So this is actually good news, and this automatic refund will mean that many recipients, millions of our fellow Americans who did end up filing taxes and trying to stay ahead of the curve, they will actually get a refund if you've already filed your tax returns for 2020. You will not need to take extra steps to reclaim those taxes that you paid but you no longer owe. Because those taxes that you paid, which you no longer owe, because the first $10,200 in unemployment benefits for the year 2020 for households making up to $150,000 a year are not taxed. So taxpayers who have yet to submit their returns have until May 17 to file. So this was a note, everyone, from the Commissioner of the IRS, Chuck Reddick. He said, do not file an amended return at this time. We believe that we will be able to handle this on our own. We believe that we will be able to automatically issue refunds associated with the $10,200. So this is very encouraging. In fact, let me actually show you folks a tweet from the IRS. The IRS strongly urges taxpayers to not file amended returns related to the new legislative provisions in the American Rescue Plan until the agency issues additional guidance. So it's very clear, folks. They're saying do not file an amended return if you've already filed your taxes. The IRS will soon share more details. So this is encouraging because this means that the IRS is going to try and handle this on their own. But I want to be clear, the IRS is completely overloaded. They have to send out stimulus checks. They have to deal with the earned income tax credit, the child tax credit, and there's a lot that they have to do in addition to the $10,200 plus. This is tax time. And even though they've delayed it by a month, they are completely overloaded. And the unemployment benefit, the federal tax exemption on the first $10,200 in unemployment benefits basically came in the middle of the tax filing season, and that is one of several reasons why the IRS said they had to push back the April 15th deadline for individual taxpayers to May 17th, and there was a lot of pressure on them to actually do that. Now, keep in mind, if you file quarterly income taxes, you still have to do that by May 15th, and so that that doesn't change. So the April 15th due date for first quarter estimated tax payments does not change, and the agency will not delay other deadlines. So keep in mind that according to the IRS, extensions cannot become a pattern, and he said the delay is an accommodation for the most vulnerable. So keep in mind that this later due date, everyone, will also give the IRS time to catch up with payments because, like I said, they are completely overloaded, and the IRS has received about 66 million refunds as of March 12th, which is a decline from 2020. So basically, what this means is that the IRS is completely overloaded, and they basically have to do a lot more work. which is the bottom line. And unfortunately, there's fraud because of all the unemployment benefits emerging. And keep in mind that that there is a form 1040. I have covered this in other videos. There's a form 1040 on the individual tax return where you can take advantage of a recovery rebate credit in case you didn't receive the full stimulus check with the first $1,200 or with the second $600. So that's the mechanism for you to claim any missing checks or any incomplete or smaller checks than what you may have been owed. So keep that in mind as well. The recovery rebate credit on form 1040. You may want to talk to an accountant about this. And the IRS is right now in the middle of sending out these millions of $1,400 check stimulus payments. So they are completely overloaded. Now they have said that they've sent out 90 million payments worth about $242 billion. Keep in mind that well over $400 billion has been set aside by way of stimulus checks. So the IRS will basically try to match 2020 returns with payments. And they said that those who, as a result of their 2020 returns, had a child or a dependent, if they find that in the 2020 returns, then they're actually going to send out additional money. So that is also interesting. And they also said that again they had to delay the tax filing deadline to create a system and to create they need enough time to deal with the child tax credit. So keep in mind that this stimulus law also increased the child tax credit and directed the IRS to start sending out payments starting in July rather than having filers claim it as one lump sum at tax time. So here's the bottom line, folks. The IRS is completely overloaded and they are suggesting that you give them time to automatically issue you your refund of the unemployment benefit tax payment. So that is where things stand right now, everyone. Let me know in the comment section below whether you have any questions. I understand how important this money is. I understand how important the refund is, because the refund for the $10,200 of federal tax overpayments, in case you filed your tax returns already, is very important to many of our viewers and subscribers. If you have not filed your taxes, just wait till the IRS issues enough guidance. And if you need to inform the IRS that, hey, I didn't get my full $1,200 or I didn't get the $600 or I was supposed to get it for a child or a dependent and I never got it. Keep in mind, adult dependents were not eligible for the first or the second stimulus check, which goes back to 2020 tax returns because those were issued in 2020. Then you can list that on the recovery rebate credit section of IRS form 1040. So definitely check out another video on our channel where you can learn about what you need to know in order to be able to make sure you get the full $1,400 stimulus check. But as far as this video is concerned, the good news is the IRS will issue the $10,200 overpayments automatically. There's really nothing you need to do. And hopefully this was encouraging for our viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I appreciate you. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.